everybody, welcome to my kitchen. Just thought I'd invite you in for dinner tonight. Super excited, we're having some smothered sirloin steak. And I've got my cast iron skillet heating up here because we want to have that nice and hot. Starting with the veggie prep, and I'll tell you about that cast iron skillet when I get closer to putting things in the skillet. For now, I'm working on our large cutting boards. These have a great silicone edge so they don't slide on your countertop. Also measure markings if you are really a serious person that wants everything even. Not me, that's not me. So basically I'm going to do some peppers, onions, and baby bella mushrooms for my veggies that will smother the steak. I'm going to cook those first, stir fry them crisp tender. And we'll start with the onion. I've already done half. Just a little tip about onions. If you want them to hold their shape, you want to cut them from pole to pole. If you cut them across the equator, they tend to fall apart and get mushy. So I want these to sort of hold their shape, so I'm just going to cut them this direction. Then we've got our peppers. And so there's a couple ways you can take the insides out of a pepper. You can just cut the shoulders off, which is what I did here, and then pop out the stem. Or you can just push it and pull that apart, and voila, it's ready to go. This little tool is called a scoop loop, and I absolutely love it because it gets in there and gets out all the little pithy parts, the seeds, and it's also terrific for a lot of other things. One of which is, if you love stuffed mushrooms, and I do, you can use that smaller end. It's flexible, you see. So you get that smaller end and it completely scoops out the center of that mushroom so you're ready to do a mushroom cap. This, or a stuffed mushroom, this end is great for scooping out half a tomato, so you could fill that with chicken salad or whatever. If you have a half of a zucchini, you can use this end and scoop it down the zucchini and make zucchini boats. So super, oh, and great, it's the best pumpkin gut scoop router in the whole world. So that's the scoop loop. And then we're going to, I'm going to cut these in just a little bit smaller pieces. Move over here to another one of my favorite products. This is called a quick slice. It has blades that are arranged in a V shape like this. So whatever you put here is going to just very easily be sliced. So I'm going to start with our peppers. And you'll see that when it comes up, it just lets them pop right out of there. Into there. It's super fast. We eat a lot of fajitas. Anytime you need sliced peppers, sliced zucchini, sliced olives, sliced mushrooms, sorry, this is your go-to tool. And I'll show you another little trick as we get closer to the end of these peppers. Oops, got a little out of control with that one. Put that shoulders in there too and chop that right up. Oh, darn it. I almost used them all up. So let's just say we had our peppers like this. You can take them out and then put them the opposite direction in here. And you have diced peppers. So super, super easy to work. And I love the fact that it goes in the dishwasher as well. It's fantastic for mushrooms. So I've got to slice these mushrooms, and it's just super quick and easy to do that. These are big mushrooms, but I like big mushrooms in my steak. So voila, there in the 2-quart batter bowl, we've got everything all ready to go. And I'm just going to put these into the cast iron skillet. It's nice and hot. And that's what you want to hear when that food hits it. You want to hear that sizzle. This cast iron is so awesome. If you're not familiar with cooking in cast iron, sometimes you have a tendency to be a little bit afraid of cast iron. It's been around way, way longer than any other cookware on the planet. And it's been around for a good reason. It is solid. It's made of cast iron, obviously, and it will last generations. It's guaranteed for a lifetime, but I promise you this will be going down to generation after generation. Most cast iron needs to be seasoned when you buy it. This cast iron comes pre-seasoned, so you can begin using it right out of the box, and I love that about it. The one thing about cast iron you want to remember is that Water is probably the worst enemy to cast iron. When you're done cooking, if you don't have time to wash it right away, then just let it sit. Don't ever, ever, ever fill it up with water and let it sit there. When it's time to wash it with soap and water and dry it with a towel really well, and you're good to go. I know some people that will pop it on a burner and just heat it up to make sure all the moisture is evaporated. You can also drip just a couple drops of whatever oil you use for cooking in there and rub it with a paper towel to keep it nice and seasoned. The more seasoned it becomes, the more non-stick it becomes. And I just love that about it. It's the perfect partner for steaks or anything that you want to have a really good sear on it, because you can heat cast iron as high as your stovetop will go. Like your stovetop could not get high enough to damage cast iron. Cast iron can even go right down in the coals when you're camping, so it's a great camping partner as well. And this happens to be our 12-inch size. We also have an 8-inch size, or sorry, a 10-inch size. It's good for like a Dutch baby or for your cornbread. I totally love it for those things. Now I'm going to add some fresh garlic. I'm going to keep my garlic press out. Well, maybe I'll do that in a second. Two other great features about our cast iron are the fact that it has two handles, not one big long one. That makes it super easy for storage. I can store mine right under my other nonstick cookware. That it all stacks together and it just takes up one shelf. I love the fact that it has two pour spouts, so whether you're right-handed or left-handed, you're going to have the capability to pour nice and even. The shape is really unusual as well. So there's two schools of thought about what we as consultants kind of joke around about what we call this. So if you get your nails done, you know that square round shape? This is like square round, or we call it a squircle. I like squircle. So the squircle is designed to give you more cooking space in your skillet and still make it easier to store, no corners to clean, but more space than just a traditional round skillet. So I'm just gonna saute these for just a couple more minutes. Oh dear. I'm an enthusiastic cook, so fear not. These are the chef's tongs. I love these because when you turn them upright and close them, they close. When you turn them down this way and up and do this, they open right up. Silicone edges, coating on there, so if you happen to be cooking in nonstick cookware that does not handle metal like ours does, you can use that and not have to worry about damaging anything. Okay, so I'm going to let this simmer for just a couple more minutes and I'll be back to show you the steak. All right, so I just took the veggies out of my skillet, which is still piping hot, and I am going to add some fresh garlic to those veggies. Notice that this is unpeeled clove of garlic. We pop it in the garlic press. Out comes wonderful fresh minced garlic. Use the little tool that comes with it to scrape that off. What's left inside, you just pop it in the trash. And you can't have too much garlic because it's really good for you. And trust me, what's in the jar doesn't even come close. When it's this easy, it's super easy to use fresh garlic. I keep mine right here. You want to keep it in a dark, dry place, not wrapped up in plastic in your refrigerator. Just don't do that. And throw that in your dishwasher when you're done. So super, super easy. Just toss this together. Now, I'm letting my skillet get really, really hot because I'm going to teach you a couple things about searing meat. In this case, this is top sirloin, and I'll just warn you ahead of time. This is not meat from the store. This is from the farm, and so it's butchered a little oddly, so it's not really stick together, but it's delicious at any rate. So I marinated this, and one of my favorite beef marinades is just equal parts of soy sauce and Worcestershire sauce with 3 or 4 or 5 cloves of garlic pushed in there. And I just put that all in a large Ziploc baggie, put my meat down in there and marinate that for a couple of hours, and it is marvelous, simply marvelous. So you're gonna hear when I put this meat in, that distinctive sizzle, and that's exactly what we want. Now, the mistake most people make when they're searing meat is you get anxious and you want to look at it. You want to check it out. So what I want to tell you is, don't do that. You want to develop the sear, which is that crust that holds all the juices inside that meat. So it's going to take 2 or 3 minutes. And I always tell people that if you start to pick it up and it feels like it's sticking a little bit, then it's not ready. When that sear is developed, it'll flip right over. Same way on our grill pan. You guys have seen me do probably some videos with the grill pan. Same concept with the grill pan. So that's going to take just a few minutes on that side, and then we'll flip it over and go from there. So, as you can see here, I haven't flipped it yet, but this has been about 3 or 4 minutes, probably more like 4 minutes. And I'm going to just flip that over and check out that nice sear on the bottom. And just FYI, I have my burner on full blast. Like, look as hot as it's going to get. That's what you want to do to develop this sear. So now that's going to go ahead and sear the other side. These are about 1 inch thick steaks. So the secret now is that I'm going to add my vegetables. This is where the smother comes in. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty and colorful. And you could use any veggies you want. If you wanted to do some sliced zucchini or asparagus, or all those good veggies are in season, coming into season. I'm so happy asparagus is here. We're going to throw that, and then I'm just going to move that right on into the oven until my meat is to the correct temperature. The skillet is hot enough that it's going to go ahead and produce the sear on the bottom. If you want to check internal temperature, I highly recommend our instant read meat thermometer. Just turn it on. I love this because it's actually magnetic. You can just stick it on the front of your stove or the back of your stove, or stick it in your pocket. It's got a little hook right here, and the probe comes right on out. Or there's a place, it actually comes with a wire probe, so you can run it out your oven or out your grill. And once you turn that on, it's going to give you an accurate, there you go. So it's currently 83 degrees over this. But you just put the little end right into the meat, and it's going to tell you exactly what you need to know. So we'll be back with the finished product. Dinner is served. So that's just one of those great big steaks. The other one is still here in that cast iron skillet, and you know what? It's going to stay warm for a really, really long time in there because that's what cast iron does. It's going to keep everything nice and warm. That's a medium steak. If you like yours rare, you might not even want to put it in the oven if you like a very rare piece of meat. But you know what? Bon appetit. And by the way, my happy host can get the set of cast iron skillets at half price anytime. In the month of March, you can choose that set of cast iron skillets at 60% off. So pretty sweet deal. And I'm looking forward to digging into this meal. That's okay.